Hey guys, welcome to my newest video for today. For today's video I'm going to be doing another installment of movies I've been watching. So this video will cover the movies I've watched from November and December. So getting straight into it, I didn't watch an awful lot of movies in November. I watched 9 movies in November, and actually I think with the exception of a couple, everything else was a first time viewing, which is a bit of a rarity. But starting off in November, I watched Jason and the Argonauts, which has been a movie I've been wanting to check out for a while. It was okay. I gave it 3.5 out of 5 stars. I think I just wanted a little bit more from the film because I thought it was going to be this big epic adventure, and we kind of didn't even get to the main battle that they would tease, sort of like the main purpose of it, of their quest, and I felt it just ended really abruptly. So yeah, I wasn't the biggest fan of that one, so that was kind of disappointing. Then I watched Honest Thief. I watched this one at the movies, so one of Liam Neeson's newest movies. It was an enjoyable, like a fun way to fill in 2 hours. Like, you have to really suspend your disbelief with it, but I enjoyed it. I gave it 3.5 out of 5 stars. Then I randomly watched the new Olaf short, Once Upon a Snowman, because this was in the lead up to seeing Frozen at the Capitol Theatre in Sydney, and this was just such a cute and magical, like, I think it's only like 6-minute movie, if that, but I still gave it 4.5 out of 5 stars. I really did enjoy it. So then I had my first rewatch of the month, and that was First Man. This film is definitely growing on me the more times that I watch it, because when I first saw it, I think I went in with too high expectations, and yeah, I didn't enjoy it as much as I wanted to. But yeah, it's not my favorite like Damien Chazelle film, but I do really enjoy this, like how he told the story of the first, of like the race to get the first man on the moon and that. So yeah, it's got a great cast, and yeah, the more times I watch it, yeah, as I said, the more times I do enjoy it. So I gave that one 4 out of 5 stars. Then I have another cinema trip, and that was to see Radioactive. So this was the story about Marie Curie and her discovery of radium and the consequences that had. It was more to do with her personal life than what I realised, because I thought it was more going to be about how she discovered it and, you know, the lead up to that. But it was more about how much of a controversial figure she was in the science community, which I didn't actually realise at the time. But she had a very interesting personal life, and yeah, it was sort of about that and sort of her like social standing, and yeah, it was interesting. Even though I didn't like the way it kind of, the random cuts to the future to show what impact her discovery had, I thought that was very jarring. I felt that they could have saved that towards, like, for the end, and sort of show what paths her discovery of radium could have taken. So I gave that one 3.5 out of 5 stars. I liked it. It was just, yeah, not sort of what I was expecting. And then I rewatched Patriots Day. I feel weird for saying that this is a really this is a film that I actually think is quite good, because it's obviously based on the Boston Marathon bombing, but I think they did a really good job dealing with the subject matter and how they told the story. So gave that one 4 out of 5 stars. Then I finally finished off my Mummy trilogy rewatch with The Mummy, Tomb of the Dragon Emperor. It's been a few years since I've seen this one, so I think I tend to rewatch the first 2 movies more. But I had fun with this one. It's definitely not as good as the, like, I think it's the weakest of the trilogy, but it was still enjoyable, and I gave it 3.5 out of 5 stars. Then I watched Hillbilly Elegy, which is Ron Howard's Netflix movie. This one seems to be very controversial, because a lot of people didn't actually seem to like it, and I started watching it and I was like, okay, I don't get what all the hate for it, and yeah, I thought it was pretty decent, so I ended up giving it a 4 out of 5 stars in the end. So and then the last movie that I watched in November was another cinema film, and that was Let Him Go. I mainly saw this one because I've been hearing really positive word of mouth, and I still don't really know how I feel about this one, because it wasn't what I was expecting at all, because I was expecting more of a, oh, the grandparents have to try and track down their grandson, and I thought that would be the whole story, like that was thing, but then it's sort of taken more of a, like a darker turn with the, daughter-in-law's new husband and his family, and then it kind of got really weird towards the end, and yeah, it wasn't, yeah, as I said, it wasn't what I was expecting at all. It still had really good performances. I gave it 3.5 out of 5 stars. I don't think I'll rewatch it though. It's not one that I sort of see myself revisiting in the future, so that one. And then we move into December. We move into December, where I have a lot of Christmas rewatches, so I'm just going to quickly go through them. So we have The Muppet Christmas Carol. I start my Christmas marathon viewing every December 1st. I love it. 5 out of 5 stars. My favourite Christmas movie of all time. Then I have a first time Christmas movie, like, well, not really Christmassy, but it sort of fits the theme, and I watched the Lego Star Wars Holiday Special. I loved this. This was so much fun, and yeah, I can definitely see myself revisiting this one an awful lot. So I gave that one 5 out of 5 stars. I loved all the, like, seeing all the different Star Wars moments and that, so that was a lot of fun. Then I rewatched Arthur Christmas. This has sort of become a staple, like, basically since I saw it in the cinema back in, was it 2011, I believe this film came out. But yeah, I think this is just a really fun, cute Christmas adventure film, so that, and The Polar Express, another one I enjoy a lot. So, well, Arthur Christmas is 4.5 out of 5 stars, Polar Express 4 out of 5 stars. Then I rewatched, of course, Home Alone and Home Alone 2 Lost in New York. I think over time the first film is actually become my favourite of the two. I gave both of them 4 out of 5 stars, but I think I do prefer the first Home Alone. Yeah, first home movie, which is kind of weird because for the longest time I always loved the second one, but yeah, it's sort of, yeah, interesting. In the last few years I've come to prefer the first Home Alone, so that one. And then we have a film that I've randomly started watching in December, because I think that's because it sort of takes place in the holiday time period, like set at holidays, but it's not a Christmas movie at all, but it's Red, which I really enjoy. I think it's a fun action film, and yeah, I think just the fact it takes place over Christmas time, so that one. And then I have another first time viewing. I finally sat down and watched The Princess Switch, which is one of the newer Christmas, like Netflix Christmas movies. This was like a cute, cheesy Christmas romance story, and that's exactly what I wanted. Didn't get to the sequel. That will probably be this year's attempt to watch the second one, but I gave The Princess Switch 4 out of 5 stars. Then I watched The Happier Season. This was at the cinema. I was very pleasantly surprised by this one. I really liked the cast. It was, yeah, a sort of a different rom-com take, and yeah, I really sort of liked, yeah, I like with the juxtaposition between the whole conservative traditional family, and then you sort of had Abby and I can't remember the other character's name, but you sort of had them sort of dealing with you know, wanting acceptance for who they are, and it's sort of trying to balance a tricky situation because the dad's running for, I think it's the dad's running for mayor, I believe is the thing. But I will say it was very nice seeing Victor Garber back on the screen, because I've missed him from Legends of Tomorrow, so seeing him back in another role was a lot of fun. So I gave Happier Season 4 out of 5 stars. Then I rewatched The Lord of the Rings: The Two Towers. Love Lord of the Rings, so of course it gets 5 out of 5 stars. Don't know why it's taken me so long to make my way through the Lord of the Rings films, because I haven't even got to Return of the King yet, which I need to do at some point in the next few days, because I actually have some time off, so I can spare to put on a 4-hour movie. But so you'll probably hopefully see that in my next lot of movies I've been watching. But I did rewatch The Lord of the Rings: The Two Towers randomly, so that's 5 stars. And then another recent favourite Christmas movie, that's Enter and the Apocalypse. It's a zombie Christmas musical. what more could you want from a movie? So I love it. 5 out of 5 stars. Then I also rewatched The Nutcracker and the Four Realms. I know this one didn't have the best reviews, but I enjoy it. It's very Christmassy, and I love the sort of the magical feel for this film. So gave that one 3.5 out of 5 stars. Then I have another first time viewing, and I watched A Christmas Carol. This is Jim Carrey's version, and again I watched this on Disney Plus, and I was actually quite surprised about this adaptation. It's not my favourite because obviously that is still the Muppet Christmas Carol, but I gave it 4 out of 5 stars. I can see myself revisiting this one down the line, so that one. And then I randomly rewatched Annie from 1982. This was not the version I was planning on watching this past Christmas season, because I was going to rewatch actually Victor Garber's version, but because Anne Raikin, I think that's how you say her name, she passed away, who played Grace Farrell in the movie, I thought I would rewatch the 1982 film, which doesn't actually take place at Christmas. It takes place over close to the 4th of July holiday, so yeah, it's changed a bit from the stage show, but I forgot how much I did love this movie, so I need to revisit it more often. So I gave that one 4 out of 5 stars. Then I rewatched Holiday Inn. Again, not really so much a Christmas movie, but it focuses on the holidays. And of course, you've got the classic I'm Dreaming of a White Christmas that's from this film. So I've always liked it, for a number of years. So I gave that 4 out of 5 stars. And then the last film that I finished off my Christmas viewings with was one that I always finish on every December 24th, and that is The Nightmare Before Christmas. I love it. Again, one of my favourite movies, and it's a 5 out of 5 stars for me. Then the last movie that I snuck in on December 31st was I finally got to go see Wonder Woman 1984. This was a very interesting movie. I did like it, which I know a lot of people weren't that fussed on. Once I got used to the different style of film, because I think it was trying to do like the whole 80s vibe, and that was after the first film, that was sort of a very jarring experience, because I was watching this at the start and I was like, oh no, this is very weird, and I wasn't too sure what to think of it. But then after the film got going, I got more involved in the story and sort of seeing how it was. Some of the plot elements I think were a little over the place, because I think there's some resolution, like they set up some story like threads and it didn't really pay off. So this actual story itself was a bit weak, but I think the performances were actually made up for it. And and it was also interesting watching Pedro Pascal play the villain after, watching The Mandalorian. So that was interesting. Wonder Woman 1984, I gave 4 out of 5 stars. Not as good as the first one, which is still my favourite, but it was still a pretty decent watch. Once I got more into story, I probably will have to give it another watch to fully appreciate the film. But that'll probably be once it's released on Blu-ray. I doubt I'll get to the cinema again to see, to give it another watch. So they were all the movies that I've seen in the past couple of months. So it's sort of been a bit varied in terms of what I've watched, and obviously in December I did more rewatches than anything. But so I'm just going to stop it here. And so basically my plan is for to do obviously January and February probably at the beginning of March. So I think I'm going to stick to this type of format because I kind of like wrapping up in a couple of months. So I think that's basically all I wanted to talk about. So thank you guys for watching, and until my next video, I will see you guys next time. Bye!